Hey everyone, JCS StarCraft here, bringing you the finals of the Go4SC2 number 31 between cHoBo and Naama, and action getting started here on Kulas Ravine. Naama going to be spawning as the blue Terran in the bottom right corner, and cHoBo going to be spawning as the red Protoss in the bottom left corner. And both of these players very active, very strong players in the StarCraft 2 community. Naama, I think, ranked right now on SC2 ranks is number 22 in the world, has something like 1,300 Battle.net ID points or Blizzard points. Or actually, I'm not entirely sure how SC2 ranks works. I think it's Battle.net points. So, but a very highly ranked player. And cHoBo not that far behind Gosu Gamers. He's ranked number 36, and on several websites I've seen him ranked, very highly in the top 40s. World-wise, he has like 1,095 points, and players are just going nuts these days on the on Battle.net ladders, because if you look at the top 50 players, everyone has over 1,300 points and just have played a mad amount of ladder games. So, but right now, I think cHoBo is ranked on SC2 rank something like number 226 in the world, but not somebody to be messed with. Back in the beta, he was ranked very high as well, very active player in the beta. I know that Naama was a Warcraft 3 player. He's a very young player from Finland. His older brother started playing Warcraft 3, and I think he joined him, eventually making the transition over to StarCraft 2, and has been an incredibly strong StarCraft 2 player. So this series is going to be a best of 5, and it looks like Naama going to be throwing down that 12 racks into 13 refinery. Both players are scouting each other out on the map and haven't figured out exactly where they are, though cHoBo is going to figure out pretty soon that his opponent is in the bottom right corner. Naama typing some cool things, telling someone to leave. I don't understand that language. If anyone does, please let me know what 9159 means. Is it pager text code or something? Okay, not as familiar, and I apologize for that, but looks like Naama's going to be pumping out his first Marine. Looks like he might be going 1-1-1, getting this gas, pushing ahead, and not going to be throwing down a tech lab for him. Meanwhile, cHoBo going to be going with a pretty standard opening as well. Gateway robotics facility, not going to be getting that first zealot, but instead just going to be focusing on getting the stalker out as soon as possible. And now both players are finally scouting each other in their respective bases. Where is Naama's scout? I don't see it for some particular reason, but it should show up somewhere pretty soon. So looks like 100 gas, so I assume that factory is going down pretty soon for Naama somewhere. Here it goes. So wow, a tricky factory by Naama above the rocks. I'm curious what he's going to do with this. If he's going to try to do some sort of Hellion rush into the expansion of cHoBo, but pretty interesting play from Naama, throwing down his bunker in the front against Protoss. This is a very strong position for a bunker, although he only has 2 Marines in there. But not to worry, because his opponent has a single stalker out on the map right now, and both players just happily getting their early game on. The stalker going to come out and test the grounds. And yes, so I think this cup was occurring during the finals of the IEM championships. So every player trying to get as many wins as they can, while some of the top players out there were fighting their way during the finals. A big congratulations, of course, to Muro for taking it from Hydra. Very entertaining matches. I highly recommend watching the VODs. I haven't casted those myself because they're all over the internet. So strongly recommend to check out some other VODs. And this lone SCV in here, just getting his scout on, seeing everything going on. Finally, the stalker comes back in to get rid of him, but looks like the factory has just been floated up into the air. Is it going to? It looks like it's going to land. I'm curious if he's going to pump out anything from this factory, or if he's just just building it here for scouting purposes. cHoBo right now, it has a few more stalkers out on the field and going to blast away at the rocks. Meanwhile, looking back at Naama, has thrown down his starport, has gotten 2 Raxes, and just pumping out a few Marines, Marauders, some ground forces. Will he be getting a medevac? Yes, so going to go with an MM and M ball against his Protoss opponent. Going to be using the factory as a scout. Doesn't even really want to pump anything out of it. So cHoBo right now, I think just trying to get his economy up and running. Already has his robo down, so he's gotten 2-gate robo. We might be seeing a push into Colossus. I'm not sure if they've played each other before, if they understand each other's play. Let's take a look at what cHoBo has scouted out so far. Has seen just that lone barracks right now for Naama. Naama going to be going ahead and taking his expansion. I think both players are focused on trying to get their macro as they head into the mid game, and not too much early pressure from either side, even though they're spawning so close to each other. They could be breaking down the rocks in between, forcing that pressure, or both players might be happy to keep it up right now too. And the floatable map hack is coming in. Wow, Naama, I think, sees it or is moving his Marines in for the kill, and wow, I think scouted that out. Not happy to have that in his base, doesn't want to be scouted, and looks like he's going to be getting a Raven right away as well. Doesn't want his opponent to be able to scout him out, though cHoBo did spot the second racks having gone down, and probably did spot a lot of the ground units, the bio units for Naama. Might be pushing in at this point. I assume he is going to go with the Colossus, so should be interesting to see whether or not and the factory finally goes down as those rocks were broken. It was trying to run away, but the factory's use already done with, as it was there just to make the starport, just to tech up. And now Naama going to be transferring and saturating and working on saturating his expansion, as cHoBo just starting to get his. Wants to make sure nothing tricky is going on before he throws anything down. Both players, I think this is definitely game one, so not sure if they played each other before. I haven't seen any matches between the two, so I think both of them just kind of establishing a pretty strong game to test each other out. This is a best of 5, so they will have plenty of time to learn each other's nuances and everything along those lines too. So, you know, always fun to watch the series of matches rather than just individual matches, because you can kind of really see some of the strategy and psychology start getting into these duels between the players as well. cHoBo now just kind of massing up, and has done because he hasn't expanded yet, looks like he might be doing a 1-base timing push, throwing his opponent off by breaking down those rocks, but then just focusing on bulking up in units. And looking at the army count right now, he is ahead of Naama, 82 to 66. So Naama looks like he's going to be loading up, has a single Marine in there, now going to be pooping it out, doesn't really want that Marine in there, but getting just a bunch of Raxes and 2 reactors down, so just pumping out tons of Marines. Not sure if that's going to be effective against the Colossus right now, and a huge ground army for cHoBo. cHoBo going to be pushing in at this point, 84 over 70, finally taking his Nexus, timing it so that he's going to throw down the Nexus when he decides to push in. And right now it looks like Naama going to be moving in with this small contingent of Marauder and Marauder Marines. Is this going to be enough is the big question. Dropping a few of them off right now. I don't think he this SCV is going to be scout the huge army coming in, and here comes that little contingent force going in to do as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, this huge army of cHoBo going to be pressing down the front of Naama's base. I think Naama going to be in trouble right now. Down comes the Marine Marauder force. Combat is researched as well as stim, and looks like +1 about to happen too, but nothing to defend at his base. Everything looks like it's about to fall. Naama just holding out and waiting for something to happen. Action happening on both sides of the map. I think that was destroyed, and this Colossus is just going to blast away at the ground forces of Naama right now, and everything's just going to get fried. Wow, SCV's coming out. Naama, I think, is pretty much just going to go all in at this point. And oh, there is another drop force at the base of Naama. They are doing a base trade. I still am in favor of cHoBo at this point, because he does have significantly more units on the field and just tearing the base apart. But this small force of Marines and the Raven there doing a good job. Here comes that Colossus. What is in production right now? Another Colossus and a Viking. cHoBo's base is gone. Naama trying to escape temporarily. Poor little Marine gets fried. Oh, look at him flail around. That's awesome. That is really cool. His gun is toasted as well. Those are very strong firepower from the from the Colossus, and everything's just getting fried. Naama going to be lifting off and trying to get somewhere else at this point. Does have this Viking in the air to try to counter those. Has 2 Vikings here, and doing his best to pick off any small tiny units. Get out of there, Marines. You're going to get toasted, and They do take out the, not the Stalker. The Stalker's 2 hit points right now. If that Stalker had gone up, but the point defense drone is thrown down, so that Stalker's useless. Marine comes out just to kill, he sacrifices himself for the Stalker. So the Colossus are going down right now to the Vikings. Is it going to be enough at this point, though? cHoBo still has a pretty sizable army, 59 over 17. I don't think it's going to be enough, but valiant effort from Naama to try to push it down. Great move by cHoBo in the beginning, breaking down his rocks to let his opponent see, and then deciding just to one base it and just storming in, getting ahead while his opponent was focusing on getting his expansion up. So great game from both players. cHoBo takes game 1, and I am going to cast the rest. This is JCS StarCraft signing off.